History remembers conquerors. Names like Caesar, Alexander, and Genghis Khan echo through the ages. These men carved empires from blood and fire. They remade the world in their image. But few stories are as dramatic, as violent, or as ultimately tragic as that of Nader Shah Afshar. Born in the periphery of power, Nader rose from obscurity to become the most powerful man in Persia. He was a shepherd's son who became a king. He was a brilliant military strategist and a ruthless tyrant. He liberated Persia from foreign invaders and dragged it through a river of blood. This is the story of a man who seized destiny by the throat and left his mark on the world. This is the story of Nader Shah. The year was 1688, a time of great turmoil and uncertainty. The Safavid Empire of Persia was a shadow of its former glory. Once a beacon of culture, power, and prosperity, it now lay weakened and fragmented. Weakened by internal strife and under attack from all sides, the empire was besieged by enemies both foreign and domestic. The once mighty Safavid military struggled to fend off invaders, and the internal discord only exacerbated the situation. The empire seemed on the verge of collapse, its cities in ruins and its people in despair. The grandeur of the past was but a distant memory, overshadowed by the harsh realities of the present. It was in this tumultuous period, in the rugged region of Khorasan, that Nader was born. The harsh landscape of Khorasan, with its towering mountains and arid plains, would shape the young boy's character and destiny. His early life was harsh. Born into a world of constant struggle, Nader's childhood was marked by hardship and survival. He was no stranger to the biting cold of winter nights and the scorching heat of summer days. He grew up in a world of nomads and shepherds, far from the luxurious palaces of Isfahan. The nomadic lifestyle taught him resilience and adaptability, skills that would serve him well in the years to come. Nader knew hardship, knew hunger, knew the ever-present threat of violence. The constant need to protect his family and their meager possessions from raiders and rival tribes instilled in him a fierce determination and a warrior's spirit. He learned to ride before he could walk, and to fight before he could shave. The skills of horsemanship and combat were not just pastimes but necessities for survival in the unforgiving terrain of Khorasan. By his early 20s, Nader was already a proven leader. His natural charisma and tactical acumen earned him the respect and loyalty of those around him. He was not just a warrior, but a leader of men. He joined the service of the Safavid Shah, Tahmasp II. The young Shah, desperate to reclaim his throne and restore the empire's former glory, saw in Nader a valuable ally and a formidable warrior. The young Nader displayed a natural talent for warfare. His strategies were innovative, his tactics ruthless. He understood the art of war in a way that few of his contemporaries did. He was courageous in battle, cunning in strategy. His ability to inspire his troops and outmaneuver his enemies quickly set him apart from other commanders. He quickly rose through the ranks, earning a reputation as a formidable warrior and a loyal soldier. His rise was meteoric, fueled by his relentless drive and unparalleled skill. But even as he served the Shah, Nader saw the weakness at the heart of the empire. The court was rife with corruption, and the leadership was indecisive and ineffective. He saw the corruption, the indecision, the erosion of power. The once great empire was crumbling from within, and its leaders seemed powerless to stop it. He saw an empire ripe for the taking. Nader's keen insight and ambition would soon drive him to take bold actions that would change the course of Persian history forever. The Safavid Empire was crumbling from within. The Afghans had seized control of much of Persia. The Ottomans, sensing weakness, were encroaching from the west. Shah Tahmasp II, a ruler in name only, seemed powerless to stop the decline. Nader saw opportunity in chaos. He united the scattered tribes of Khorasan under his banner. He instilled in them a sense of purpose, a thirst for victory. His army, forged in the crucible of constant warfare, became a weapon unlike any other. He first drove out the Afghan invaders, crushing their armies and restoring order to eastern Persia. With each victory, Nader's power grew. He was no longer content to be a mere soldier, a servant of a failing king. He had tasted power and craved more. In 1729, Nader marched on Isfahan, the Safavid capital. He deposed Tahmasp II, the puppet Shah, and placed the infant Abbas III on the throne. Nader, the shepherd's son, was now the true power behind the throne. He had become the Shahanshah, the king of kings. Nader Shah was not content with merely ruling Persia. His ambition stretched far beyond the borders of his homeland. He envisioned an empire that would rival the greatest in history, one that would be remembered for centuries to come. He craved glory, sought to expand his empire, to leave his mark on the world. His mind was constantly at work, devising strategies and planning campaigns that would bring him closer to his dream of a vast and powerful empire. And so began a series of military campaigns that would cement his legend as one of history's greatest conquerors. His soldiers, loyal and fierce, followed him into battle after battle. their spirits unbroken by the hardships they faced. He first turned his attention to the Ottomans, the ancient enemy of Persia. The Ottomans had long been a thorn in Persia's side, and Nader Shah was determined to remove it once and for all. Nader's armies marched west, crushing Ottoman resistance in a series of decisive battles. His tactics were brilliant, his leadership inspiring. The Ottoman forces, though formidable, were no match for Nader's strategic genius. He reclaimed lost territories and secured Persia's western borders. The people of Persia rejoiced, their faith in Nader Shah's leadership growing stronger with each victory. But Nader's most daring campaign was yet to come. His eyes turned eastward, towards the rich and powerful Mughal Empire of India. This would be his greatest challenge and his greatest triumph. In 1739, he set his sights on the Mughal Empire of India. The Mughals were known for their wealth and splendor, and Nader Shah was determined to claim it for Persia. His army, swelled by tens of thousands of warriors, crossed the Hindu Kush mountains, a feat considered impossible by many. The journey was grueling, the terrain treacherous, but Nader's determination never wavered. The Mughal army, though vast, was unprepared for Nader's ferocity. They had grown complacent, their defenses weak. Nader Shah's forces struck with the force of a hurricane, leaving the Mughals reeling. At the Battle of Karnal, Nader's forces routed the Mughals, capturing the Mughal emperor himself. It was a stunning victory, one that would echo through the annals of history. The victory sent shockwaves throughout the world. News of the Mughal defeat spread like wildfire, reaching the far corners of the globe. The invincible Mughals had fallen, and Nader Shah's name was on everyone's lips. The invincible Mughals had fallen. Their once mighty army lay in ruins, their empire shaken to its core. Nader Shah had achieved the impossible, and his legend grew with each passing day. Nader Shah entered Delhi, the jewel of the Mughal Empire, not as a conqueror, but as a liberator. The people of Delhi, weary of Mughal rule, welcomed him with open arms, hoping for a better future under his leadership. However, when rebellion broke out, Nader unleashed a massacre. His wrath was swift and brutal, a stark reminder of the consequences of defiance. The streets of Delhi ran red with blood, the cries of the fallen echoing through the city. The streets of Delhi ran red with blood. The once vibrant city was plunged into chaos, its people caught in the crossfire of Nader's fury. The aftermath of the battle left scars that would take generations to heal. The city was stripped of its wealth, its treasures carried back to Persia. Nader Shah's men looted the city, taking everything of value. The riches of Delhi, accumulated over centuries, were now in Persian hands. The peacock throne, symbol of Mughal power, became Nader's prize. This magnificent artifact, a testament to the Mughals' former glory, was now a symbol of Nader Shah's triumph. His conquest of Delhi was complete, his legacy secured. Victory after victory, triumph after triumph. Nader Shah's military campaigns were nothing short of legendary. His forces swept across the lands, leaving a trail of conquered territories and subdued enemies. The people hailed him as a hero, a savior who had brought glory and prosperity to their nation. Nader Shah stood at the pinnacle of his power. His palace, a symbol of his immense wealth and influence, was adorned with treasures from his conquests. The golden throne, a testament to his authority, gleamed under the light, reflecting the grandeur of his reign. But the man who had once been hailed as a liberator was becoming a tyrant. The very qualities that had made him a revered leader were now twisted into tools of oppression. His stern gaze, once a source of inspiration, now struck fear into the hearts of his subjects. The endless campaigns had taken their toll. Soldiers, once full of vigor and pride, were now weary and disillusioned. The constant battles had drained their spirits, leaving them as mere shadows of their former selves. The cost of war was not just in lives lost, but in the erosion of hope and morale. Nader, once known for his charisma and his ability to inspire loyalty, had changed. The man who could rally his troops with a single speech, who could turn the tide of battle with his presence, was now a distant memory. He became increasingly suspicious, even paranoid. Every shadow seemed to hide a potential assassin, every whisper a plot against him. His mind, once sharp and strategic, was now clouded with fear and mistrust. He saw enemies everywhere, even within his own family. The bonds of blood and kinship meant nothing to him anymore. His paranoia extended to those closest to him, turning his court into a web of suspicion and betrayal. He ruled with an iron fist, crushing dissent with brutal efficiency. Any hint of rebellion was met with swift and merciless punishment. The once celebrated liberator had become a despot, his rule marked by fear and oppression. Taxes were raised mercilessly to fund his wars and his lavish lifestyle. The burden on the common people grew heavier with each passing day. What was once a prosperous land was now groaning under the weight of Nader's insatiable greed. The people, who had once cheered his name, now lived in fear of his wrath. The joy and hope that had filled their hearts were replaced by dread and despair. Nader's transformation from hero to tyrant was complete. and the people bore the brunt of his descent into madness. In a fit of rage, fueled by suspicion and paranoia, Nader ordered the blinding of his own son, Reza Koli Mirza. The act was a testament to how far he had fallen, how deeply his paranoia had consumed him. The act, even by the standards of the time, was seen as an unforgivable act of cruelty. It was a moment that shocked the court and the nation, a clear sign that Nader's mind was no longer his own. The act, even by the standards of the time, was seen as an unforgivable act of cruelty. It shattered what little remained of Nader's image as a just ruler. The people, already suffering under his rule, now saw him as a monster, capable of unimaginable brutality. It shattered what little remained of Nader's image as a just ruler. The once glorious crown was now a symbol of tyranny and madness. The royal seal, once a mark of authority and justice, was now broken and meaningless. The Lion of Persia, the man who had clawed his way from obscurity to become one of the most powerful rulers in the world, was now a shadow of his former self. His once mighty roar was now a mere whisper, drowned out by the echoes of his own paranoia and cruelty. He was now a shadow of his former self, consumed by the very power he had so ruthlessly seized. The man who had once been a beacon of hope and strength was now a cautionary tale of how absolute power can corrupt absolutely. Nader Shah's descent into tyranny and paranoia serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of human nature and the dangers of unchecked ambition. The empire Nader had built on a foundation of military brilliance and ruthless ambition was crumbling. Rebellions, sparked by his cruelty and oppressive rule, erupted across Persia. In 1747, while on campaign to quell yet another uprising, Nader Shah's reign of terror came to an abrupt end. He was assassinated by his own guards, betrayed by those closest to him. The once mighty Shahanshah, the terror of empires, died in the darkness of his tent, stabbed multiple times by his own men. He was buried in Mashhad, his tomb a testament to his greatness and his tyranny. With Nader's death, his vast empire, stitched together by conquest and held together by fear, quickly unraveled. The Afsharid dynasty he established crumbled. Persia, once again, descended into chaos. Nader Shah, the shepherd who became a king, the conqueror who became a tyrant, was dead. But his legacy, a tapestry woven from threads of greatness and cruelty, would continue to fascinate and horrify the world for centuries to come. Please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel so we can bring more fascinating stories. Thank you for watching.